Hi, Tim here from World of Sleuths. This is my second try because the other software I was using was had a delay in it, and the soundtrack was way off on it. So I figured I'd try it with this software, and I have everything else set to closed on this computer, but. So this is a little couple days late. This is published by Weekly Reads, and I'm Tim, of course, Morales Loose, and I'm doing it a little different this week because I'm reading more audiobooks than I am with physical books. But more ebooks than physical books, but most of the ebooks are in the public domain. So I'm making a separate video for the public domain reads, and I'll probably keep it like that. And I'll be doing that like later today or tomorrow. But so let me just start showing you the books I'm reading. And this one is Violets Are Blue by James Patterson. This is in the Alex Cross series. It's our series read for last month. I think this is number 6 in it. And I'm behind with it because this was for last month's series read with my group. After I finish it, I'll start for Blind Mice, which is this month's series read. I'm not going to say much about it either. Like I said, it's in the Alex Cross series. Next one is Death Before Dying by Dion Meyer. This is the book we're reading for this month's Mystery from Around the World read along in my group. This takes place in South Africa, and Dion Meyer's a South African author, and what's going on is I can't remember the detective's name. He's investigating a homicide outside of a hotel. A guy was shot when he was leaving the previous night, or in the middle of the night, and it turns out he was having a one-night thing with another woman, but of course his wife didn't know about it. But I'm not too far into it. I'll be reading more of it today. Next one is one that I've been slowly reading. It's My American Journey by Coleman Powell. I'm over halfway done with this now, but this book is a good book. It's there's so much to absorb in it, and he's talk about growing up, and then in the army, and then like in the White House and stuff, like when he was Ronald Reagan's national security advisor for like a year or so. But it was at the end of Reagan's term in office. And then where I'm at, he's just been selected to be the chief of the the president or chief of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. But in it, he doesn't keep it all just so real serious. He talks about hilarious things that's happened to him in it also throughout it. He does. Okay, so, and then I am reading one ebook. It's the second one in the Mark Taylor Omnibus. It's considered to be book one in the series. So see, the one before it was like a novella that was a prequel, where they were showing how he came across a camera that this is centered around. See, these are considered somewhat like psychological thrillers, or Mark Taylor, the first Mark Taylor found about a camera at a bazaar in Afghanistan, and when he gets back home, he cleans it up. It just goes out. See, this takes place in Chicago. So the author, M.P. McDonald, I know she's from in Wisconsin, not really that far from me, and but this book, he's well, it ends up in the last book where he take pictures, and one of them wouldn't be of the stuff he took it of. It's about something that's going to happen in the future where he needs to try preventing, and so he goes around trying to do that, but there's times where he had to get the police involved and stuff, and in this book it continues on with that, but then he's threatened by the federal government. It's about some stuff from the first book that I can't talk about, don't want to talk about it because I don't want to spoil it, or I mean the novella. So that's all that I'm reading out, the regular books that aren't in the public domain right now. I did do, but now for, like I said, the public domain books, I'll be putting up a video for that later today. Okay, but what I'm reading, books that I've picked up since the last video. I think it was last Thursday evening. My wife and I went to, we were going to a few places, and we stopped at a Dollar Tree for some stuff. While she was looking for the stuff she was looking for, I found some books. Like, here's the first one. It's Valley of the Gods by Alexandra Wolf. It's not really a mystery or a thriller, but it's like it says, a Silicon Valley story. With me being the computer nerd I am, so I used to repair computers, and I college major was computer science. So, but it looked interesting. The next one is the thriller, though. It's Poison by Alison Brennan. I don't really know much about what it's about, but the blurb got me interested in it. Then last Friday, my wife was off since she had to work Saturday, and we went to some garage sales, and grabbed the wrong books there. Went to some garage sales in a town like maybe 5 miles of even that north of us. And I've always looked for books and records at them. I found more books than I did records. So, but the books I got, the first one, this one I wasn't going to get until I saw it for 50 cents. It's a Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I haven't really read anything about it. I know it's supposed to be a thriller, so like her other books are. But I got that for 50 cents. Okay. And we were still going around, came across one where it's an older guy. They had a bunch of books there. They weren't always in the greatest shape, but he likes around the same type of books as I do. He had several Tom Clancy books there, but I already had those and stuff. But he said, no, out of $1 a piece of them. I said, well, I haven't really seen these in stores, in thrift stores or library sales. The first one is by Ira Johansson, Firestorm. I haven't read any of her stuff yet, but I had picked up one for books up by accident from the library like a year ago, and I've been to start reading her books. So, and then next one is by a guy that I bought. I have one of his books. It's David Tygberg. It's Desert Fire. See, the cover's a little trashed on here. That's main thing. Same thing with Firestorm, but he writes more like a techno thriller type. By what I was told, and this is Desert Fire, and those two are the ones that were in the worst shape of all them. The next one that I got from him is Kill Shot by Vince Flynn. It's a book in his Mitch Rapp series. I haven't read any from the Mitch Rapp series yet, but I do have several that I'm planning on start reading from that series soon. And I read Term Limits, which is by him, which takes place in the Mitch Rapp universe, but that Mitch Rapp isn't in it or anything. And then he had a couple John Grisham ones. I haven't read any John Grisham yet, but I already have a couple of his books. I have what is it, Time to Kill or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, his first one. And I have The Firm, if I remember it is the name of the other one. Well, so I found picked up a couple that looked like they're in decent shape. The Last Juror and A Painted House. Okay, and then we went to a couple more, and around the last place we went to, I saw a couple books, and I had their older books, but I figured I'd pick them up. They're still in nice shape. The first one is Doc Savage, from the Doc Savage series. It's the first one, The Man of Bronze. Got it for like 50 cents, and if I remember it, I got this for $0.25. This is The Other Side, or My Side of the Mountain, by Gene George. I remember reading this when I was a kid, like 40, 50 years ago, probably like 45 years ago. But my aunt took my brother, sister, me to see it at a movie when we were little. This was before my aunt was married, and but the movie's pretty good. It's about a boy who's read up on survival stuff and all that, and he's read Thoreau's book Walden, which really got him wanting to be like Thoreau or in the book or whoever, where he's going to up into the mountains and live in them for a year, and this is about that, and about doing that. Well, that's all I have for you this time. So until next, like I said, like I said, I'll be posting a public domain reads video later today or tomorrow. So until next time, take it easy and keep on reading.